Salam Keluarga Malaysia. Hello and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mohana Priya and you're watching Updates at Noon. Making the headlines today, no special quota for contract teachers. No special quota has been allocated for contract of service or COS teachers in the one-off intake for grade DG41 education service officers. Senior Education Minister Dato Dr. Razzie Jidin said the priority in the selection of teachers would be on graduates with education majors. However, he explained that the ministry did not have the full data on the number of graduates possessing education majors in the market. Due to that, the ministry, he said, made a projection and submitted about 4,000 candidates with no education majors to the Public Service Department, JPA, adding it was actually a shortlist, not a quota, of COS candidates. The senior minister was commenting on allegations by several parties that the Education Service Commission, SPP, and the Education Ministry were not transparent in the results of the COS interview that were released recently, besides claiming that the quota of 5,000 teachers had been reduced to 2,400. Dato Dr. Razzie also stressed that each COS recruitment was done with careful scrutiny.
Ada satu graduat ikhtisas, satu kumpulan graduat ikhtisas sekitar 200 orang, kumpulan graduat ikhtisas ini, dia dah selesai, dia dah layak dah. SPP dapati dia memang layak, temuduga apa semua dia layak. Namun begitu, at that point in time, bila kawan-kawan dia ini telah dilantik secara tetap, mereka masih belum menerima surat daripada Senat Universiti. Ada sekitar 200 orang Senat Universiti. It is unfair for us to ignore them. Adalah tidak adil kita ignore dia sebab bukan salah dia. Bukan salah dia surat Senat Universiti lambat. Dia dah ready, dia dah layak. Tapi bukan salah dia. Sebab itu secara teknikal kita ambil mereka ini melalui COS. Dan ini tidak ada kaitan dengan COS yang tidak ada ikhtisas, dia tak ada.
Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL will cooperate with the Department of Irrigation and Drainage, JPS, to build a high-capacity groundwater storage tunnel to overcome the issue of flash floods in the nation's capital. Federal Territories Minister Dato Sri Dr. Shahidan Kasim said this was one of the long-term solutions that will take about 3 to 5 years to complete. He said, as such, DBKL will carry out a feasibility study on the location and specification of the groundwater storage tunnel that will be completed within 3 months.
Cuma di Tokyo dan Itibashi dan kebanyakan bandaraya utama di dunia ni dia buat bawah jalan. Sebab kalau bawah bangunan tak boleh, bangunan dengan curucuk yang banyak, dia buat bawah jalan. Tapi di KL ni kita tengok jalannya agak sempit. Dia orang jalan besar. Jadi ada satu cadangan yang baik. Dan ini Tokyo pun setuju dengan kita bahawa kita bina bawah sungai. Tapi di bawah 120 kaki di bawah sungai.
Speaking at a media conference on Towards a Flash Flood-Free Kuala Lumpur, the minister said DBKL would appoint a consultant soon regarding the matter after holding talks with the JPS. He also said that DBKL would also build flood walls immediately in all areas where rivers are likely to overflow. He explained that the main cause of flash floods in the capital was rivers overflowing, resulting in the drainage system being unable to channel the water smoothly into rivers. The Road Transport Department, JPJ, has prohibited all heavy vehicles with laden weight or BDM exceeding 7,500 kilograms from entering the main roads into the city centre from 6:30 a.m. until 9:30 and 4:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. every day. The prohibition follows a JPA observation showing the entry of heavy vehicles into the city during peak hours had contributed to the traffic congestion and eventually affected the smooth traffic flow in the Klang Valley. In a statement, JPJ said that roads that are gazetted with travel restrictions of at least 5 kilometers from the city centre, starting from the entrance to the city centre, will be marked by placing a special signboard with a timestamp prohibiting heavy vehicles from entering the city centre. According to the statements, the ban on goods vehicles entering the main roads in the federal capital has been enforced for a long time. However, since entering the transition to the endemic phase, heavy vehicle drivers are disregarding the rule and resulting in a visible increase in the number of vehicles on the road. Those who chose to disregard this can be compounded not more than 300 ringgit or charged in court, where the fine imposed will not be less than 300 ringgit and not exceeding 2,000 ringgit. The police arrested 3 men for owning and selling wildlife without a license and for owning self-made firearms in 2 separate raids on Wednesday. Bukit Aman Internal Security and Public Order Department Director Dato' Sri Hazani Ghazali said the raids in Perak involved the seizures of white-rumped shamas, cages, assorted birds, firearms and ketum leaves worth 717,500 ringgit. In a statement, he said 4 raids were conducted against syndicates involved in illegal wildlife sales on 31st May and 3 other raids in Bukit Merah, Perak, and managed to detain a local man, 44, and seized 72 white-rumped shamas and 47 cages worth 694,500 ringgit. Another raid was conducted in Gerik, Perak, that led to the arrest of 2 Thai men, 33 and 37, along with the seizure of 4 birds. Dato' Sri Hazani added that 3 firearms believed to be a shotgun, an improvised gun, a pistol, 5 crossbows, 25 shotgun shells, and a bag of estimated 300 grams of ketum leaves with a total value of 23,000 ringgit were also seized. All suspects have been remanded under Section 117 of the Criminal Code for further investigations. Pulau Pinang Police have set up a special unit to conduct periodic patrols on the Pulau Pinang Bridge and Jambatan Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah to prevent people from jumping off the 2 bridges to commit suicide. The State Police Chief, Dato' Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain, said the special squad is made up of traffic policemen. He said on average 77 people in Pulau Pinang committed suicide in a year for the period from 2020 to May this year, and statistics showed that 20 cases involved people jumping off these bridges. He said police were working closely with the state government and non-governmental organizations to check such suicide cases, adding too much publicity on people committing suicide from these bridges could also encourage others to end their lives in a similar manner. On another note, he said police would be meeting with the other relevant government agencies and the state government soon to find ways to overcome the problem of traffic congestion, especially on the Pulau Pinang Bridge. Unusually bad traffic jams were reported lately because the number of vehicles using the 2 bridges increased by 15.9% last month compared to 2.8 million vehicles in May 2019. The Lembaga Tabung Haji TH has made preparations, especially in terms of accommodation and transportation, as well as the readiness of its guides for the arrival of Hajj pilgrims in stages beginning 4th June. Madinah Director of Operations Muhammad Haikal Muhammad Yusof said thorough preparations were done after several sessions of meetings and discussions with representatives of the Ministry of Hajj, Syarikat Adilah and Hotel Management. He said it needs to be done carefully and in an orderly manner to comply with the rules and guidelines set by the Saudi Arabian government. For this year's Hajj season, TH provides 2 accommodation buildings for pilgrims, namely the Anwar Al Madinah Movenpick Hotel and also the Al Saha Madinah Hotel, which are located between 50 and 280 meters from the An-Nabawi Mosque.
Semua unit-unit pentadbiran di sektor Madinah, pusat perubatan, unit kaunseling, unit ibadat. So yang mana mereka-mereka ini akan memberi sokongan kepada para jemaah di bangunan penginapan di Hotel Olimpik dan di Hotel Saja Al-Madinah, yang mana mereka sentiasa akan berada di bangunan-bangunan tersebutlah dalam menyantuni Duyufur Rahman.
Met at the Madinah TH headquarters at Roha building in Madinah, Muhammad Haikal said TH had planned worship and pilgrimage activities for the pilgrims during their 6 days and 5 nights in Madinah. Among the activities are religious talks, visits to the tomb of Prophet Muhammad and Nabawi Mosque, as well as historical places in Madinah. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah yesterday attended a Yasin recital in Doa Selamat in conjunction with His Majesty's official birthday celebration on 6th June. Also present at the ceremony held at the Federal Territory Mosque was the Raja Pemaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria. Their Majesties were greeted upon arrival at 6:30 p.m. by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Senator Datuk Idris Ahmad. Also in attendance were several cabinet ministers. The ceremony began with a Yasin recital in Doa Selamat, led by the Grand Imam of the Federal Territory Mosque, Muhyiddin Aziz, before the royal couple, along with 2,000 other congregants, performed the Maghrib prayer. The ceremony is part of events lined up in conjunction with the official birthday celebration of Sultan Abdullah, who was installed as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong on 30th July 2019. Today, His Majesty is scheduled to attend a special sermon and perform Friday prayers at the mosque. Kelantan FC has confirmed none of its players have been arrested over a rape case. The Red Warriors Kelantan FC operations manager Kusmani Nur Rusli confirmed this following an internal inquiry by the team's top management. He said in a media statement that Kelantan FC confirmed that no Kelantan FC players are involved or linked to the immoral issue. The statement was issued following a media report stating that a 28-year-old local league football player was arrested at Jalan Pantai Cahaya Bulan in Kota Baru in connection with a rape case involving an 18-year-old girl. Kusmaini said the Kelantan FC viewed seriously allegations by social media users against its players. He added that the Kelantan FC has identified some of the social media account owners concerned. Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal Azumu said he leaves it up to the authorities to investigate the case of the local football player who allegedly raped an 18-year-old girl in Kelantan last Sunday.
Yang pertamanya saya tidak mendapat apa-apa makluman lagi tentang perkara ini. Saya hanya mendengar daripada rakan-rakan media dan tak dapat makluman lanjut berkenaan dengan perkara tersebut. Dan ianya juga difahamkan telah ada laporan polis, maka saya serahkan kepada pihak yang berkuasa untuk menyiasat sedalam-dalamnya jika berlaku kesalahan didakwa dan juga jika tidak bersalah dapat dibela dengan baik sebaik-baiknya.
And that concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story today, concern grows as human medical waste implicated in virus spillovers. Tune into News at 10 coming up at 10 p.m. on Saluran Berita RTM on My Free News channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM Click. Thank you. I'm Mona Priya. Stay tuned to TV2. Salam Keluarga Malaysia and have a great weekend.